Hi guys, Togo here with a new video, and this video will be more of a something I don't really like to do, a negative video, because I feel like currently there is only that to be talked about. We're talking about World of Warcraft PvP and how I feel like maybe it doesn't have to do with like Blizzard, but it has maybe to do with Blizzard. I feel like the game is shifting towards a very negative spiral where we are actually even more flavor of the month thing. I know it's not a word, but I'm going to use it. The current PvP state of meta. So it means that the meta is like, for example, found, discovered in 1 or 2 days, and then you have the unfortunate thing where it's not really an unfortunate thing, but alting and having a reroll or rerolling, I would say, is super easy. So it means that if Retribution Paladin is just that much better, for example, I'm taking a Retribution Paladin as an example, but I could also talk about the H at the start of the season, Assassination Rogue around the middle of the season, and now at the end of the season we have Retribution Paladin, where people do reroll in masses towards those specs because they are so strong. And it is mainly because it is so easy to alt and reroll, but also just the main thing that balancing is very good. I like balancing, I like consistent changes, but it does feel that all those changes are massive switches, and it's not like a correction. They're not trying to correct the meta, or they're not trying to correct specs or builds or whatever, which in turn you will have massive meta switches. And sometimes just a hotfix, like for example we had previous weekend, at least this weekend, Friday I would say even, is just not enough. It is just not enough. And if you haven't noticed it, I'm talking to you guys with some background video like PG or whatever I'm actually doing, but I want to discuss with you like heart to heart what is on my mind with World of Warcraft PvP, because again, I see it around me. That's the problem. That's the thing. I was a bit oblivious before because I felt like, look, I think PvP is fine. No one is really leaving, at least doesn't feel like it, and everything is okay. But right now, it kind of falls apart where there is just no one really connecting. There is no really a lot of like groups in 3v3 or in 2v2 or in RBGs or even in social. For the queues are infinitely longer. Also, the ratio of healer to DPS is even bigger now. Now you have basically one healer for 7 DPSs. So it means that the queues are going to be longer and longer because healers just do not want to play anymore. And there is a reason for that. I think social is a very, very annoying environment where sometimes I feel is not very healthy for the game. I do love solo shuffle. I do love arenas. I just think they kind of shifted too hard into the arena proportion of the game. I feel like maybe they should concentrate themselves on 2BGs again, make the casual player enjoy PvP again, make the casual player more at home. So we players that are actually playing PvP since the beginning and we are like enjoying PvP, only that out of World of Warcraft, at least retail, we can then enjoy a bit more variety, a bit more of a larger player base. I feel like right now the player base is a bit short. Like again, it's shrinked towards a point where in PvP the queues are super long for everything, even for BGs. And I feel like it is part because of the philosophy that Blizzard actually took with the game. I'm okay for a game being an esport. Again, I love esports. Like for example, Hardcore Classic. I love watching the HCAS or the dungeon drafts or whatever they are actually doing. Like an esport out of thin air, basically, but an esport, and it is actually very fun. And it's actually very chill to watch and chill to participate as well. But I think the esport format, or at least the philosophy that they want to give to the game, is not the right approach. I think arenas is not the right thing for World of Warcraft. I think arenas is very fun. It's actually it's actually something that is going to be fundamental towards competitivity for 3v3, for example. But I feel like for the masses and the easiness for people to join into the game and to attract more players, because that is what we all want, actually more players to play with, more of a player base that is a bit more broad and a bit more heteroclite. So I don't know how it is said in English. I don't know if it's a right word, but mainly you have a lot of variety between the people that are actually playing. So players that from PvE want to play PvP, some players that are diehard PvP that are going to play PvP, some casual PvPers, someone that is going to do only transmogs, like varied. But right now, what we are seeing in PvP is you only see the diehard PvPers, and then some casuals which are like getting dumpstered, and those are going to go back to another game because they feel like they have no place in that environment, and it becomes more toxic because again the queues are so long. People are kind of toxic with each other because it feels like I'm losing CR for this and I have no way to come back. I have, like, for example, one win, it's the 6th round, and the second win, I know I'm still going to lose CR, so I'm frustrated. And that's a sentiment a lot of people have, or even a healer, for example, a healer that is going 2-6, 2-5, and the last round is the deciding factor where they're going to have 0 CR or losing CR. They are going to be in a negative mindset. And that is something that is inherent with the format of Soul Shuffle. I think the format of Soul Shuffle is great, but there should be something else beyond that. And I think personally that the idea of Soul Shuffle is great, but I would say that solo queue for random BGs or like RBGs, whatever, like rated battlegrounds would be better. Or they have HOTS, Heroes of the Storm, which is a MOBA. They could literally make a map out of that. They could literally make minions that are killed in a few melee hits, for example. Like, for example, in League of Legends or Dota, whatever, they're getting killed easily, right? And then you have like 5v5 where you have your support, which is the healer. So you have one healer for 4 DPSs, and the queues would be faster because, again, you have one healer for 4 DPSs per team. So it means that the ratio is a bit more dim than right now, which is 33% of one team. I think we have to change our approach, that we should play maybe more of a MOBA style map where you can be competitive. You have a clear approach where you want to destroy the enemy nexus, for example, and you're trying to progress through the map, but dying is not you losing the game, for example. SCC is not going to last a whole game and then losing the game, for example. So CC is not a problem anymore. CC can happen without an issue. You have multiple ways to actually make it more competitive, but also more casual for the players, and I think more fun in general. I think arenas is very fun, but it's still a deathmatch. It is still something that is probably a bit out of date right now and out of touch. And I know that a lot of pro players, a lot of rank ones, a lot of people that are like putting their money like on the line whenever they're playing, basically they would not like to have arenas actually changed. But I think if you want to have a popular game and you are a streamer or content creator or you're a pro, you would like them to change into a game that is much more popular, because you as a pro player, as a rank one, as a streamer, as a content creator, even as a casual, you will enjoy the game much more because you have more players to play with. Imagine if League of Legends was a game that was not easy access. People would not try it, people would not make it grow, and it would not be how it is right now. And I would still think that League of Legends right now is a bit more elitist than before, and that is why they're actually declining. but whenever it was like open access for everyone, and you have like different layers of playing the game, where you have difficulties which are probably the challenger levels and the master levels and the diamond levels, and then you have like golds, silvers, bronzes, where the difference between them is very high because there is a skill difference, and then you can progress through it. And I think World of Warcraft right now, the issues I see is there is a skill difference, but there's also a big class difference, a big meta difference, a bit everything can be a difference, which makes it a lot harder to actually progress through the ranks and actually enjoy that process as well. Me as a content creator, as a World of Warcraft PvPer since I was so little, I cannot even remember. I can actually remember, but still. I am a diehard PvPer. I'm a diehard World of Warcraft PvPer. I will always return and come back to the game. Even if I take a hiatus of like, let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, I would still always come back to World of Warcraft PvP to check out how it is and try to grind it out and try to get my goals, and yeah, try to stay until it's not fun anymore. And I think arenas, and I know I'm rambling a lot, but I think arenas is just not the right format. It is just not the right format for World of Warcraft to grow, at least the PvP scene. For PvE, I think in general, everyone already discussed about it. I think the differences in raid levels is something that is maybe good for pros, maybe good for everything, but chances are, and the truth is, that everyone kind of loves classic raiding because it is chill, it is relaxed, it is like a social experiment. While, for example, right now raiding is not really a social experiment, it is pure a skills experiment. Which makes that someone that is wanting for a social experiment and wanting to chill is not going to play World of Warcraft PvE. That's not going to happen. That's why they are actually jumping onto Classic, on Wrath of Lich King even, because they are actually searching for a social experiment game, which is an MMO, to be honest. And they're not going to get that with PvE in World of Warcraft Dragonflight. And I love Dragonflight, I swear. I can, again, I say it's multiple times per stream, right? I think it is the best PvP expansion we have. But I think being the best out of all the bad expansions is not making you extremely good. It is just making you the best out of the bad bunch. And I think personally, I would like to see them actually step away from arenas. And I'm gonna repeat it again because I feel like it's super important. Step away from arenas and go back to having BGs matter, man. Having a random BGs, having rated BGs, having support towards that system, having spectator mode where if you don't want to play and you just want to watch, talk to someone and it will give you a list of random, like, rated battlegrounds that are currently playing. Click on it and you are a spectator. You can watch while you're eating, while you're drinking, while you're actually studying tactics or whatever. Something like that. Or even for arenas, man. I don't know how they are actually didn't really implement that, but let's say you're waiting for a queue on Soul Shuffle and you can spectate other Soul Shuffles. I would just do that. Right now what I'm doing is I'm scrolling through YouTube, or I'm doing some classic World of Warcraft or whatever, but I'm not playing the game until Soul Shuffle pops. Or I'm searching for 3s or 2s or RBGs, but again, it's depending on the hours. Sometimes there is no groups available, or there's no one that wants to play with my SPEC, so I feel like I can't really play with them. But we have to find something to make World of Warcraft like great again. I know it's a meme, but I think right now Dragonflight is great. I think they are doing very good with it. I think they just need to do a lot of adjustments towards the systems, like the big systems, like for example Arena being like superior to BGs, which again, I love arenas, I love BGs, but I think for the greater good of the game, having the skill towards objective related game modes would be better for the game, also better for esports. I think the viewership would be more interested. It would be also more clear when someone wins or not. Well, for example, a complete noob that doesn't know what is going to happen in 3v3, yeah, he's going to get bored. That's a fact. So, while, for example, capture the flag, it is very simple. Capture the flag. So that is more or less a rant. I didn't really want to do that, but I felt like I had to express a bit my concerns with World of Warcraft. Right now, I do see people leave. I do see people return sometimes. It's not only doom and gloom, but I feel like right now it is too meta driven, and how to break the meta and how to shape it towards another level, it would be to actually have BGs mattering. And then also, when BG is mattering, it means that tanks also have a spec or a game mode to be playing in and to be enjoying in. I think arenas right now, it's a bit contrived, and it's not going to promote any growth, at least player base wise. We're playing with the same players all over again, and the issue is people are leaving and sometimes they're not coming back. But anyways, this is again a negative video. Excuse me for that if you do not like negative videos, but it's like me expressing about my concerns of the game, because I'm a content creator and I want to keep on making videos about World of Warcraft PvP. But again, viewers decide what's going on. If the viewers and the players are not watching or playing World of Warcraft anymore, then there is no real reason to stick with it, right? And that's why I want it to thrive, so we can play it and enjoy it, and then I make videos where I'm actually proud of making them, and the cycle continues. But right now we have to break the cycle and renew that with the casual players and with the players that actually left the game, and they have to come back. So you have to change something to get him back. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and we will catch each other very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.